The savory and sweet flavors of a cuisine that has evolved with the history of our nation. Okra, cornbread, collard greens, fried chicken, even chitlins. Soul food is a staple that weaves between personal history, family history, and U.S. history.
And she's dropping that catfish right now. So
that's what I remember about food growing up, is just being in the kitchen with the grandparents, everybody coming in and out, grabbing a plate. And just having family around.
It's that familiar embrace Chef James Jones wanted to recreate when he opened his place eatery.
The feeling I tell people is like going to grandma's house, where you walk in and you just feel welcome.
In the kitchen, Chef Jones pays homage to Black history, culture, and cuisine that found its beginnings in the Deep South.
Collard greens are traditional soul food, so you got to try collard greens. You have to have the macaroni and cheese because, again, that's traditional soul food.
But he also adds to its evolution.
Deep fried chicken, things like that, traditional fried fish. But then we get in there and we're like, okay, what if we did a smoked meatloaf? What if we did a brisket grilled cheese sandwich or a collard green grilled cheese sandwich?
Chef Jones emphasizes the need to know where soul food came from, a fight to simply live.
All of those things come from, our origins and who we are as a people.
Soul food is, it's a central part of African American history and culture.
When you dig through history, it was life or death.
Absolutely. Soul food is about survival.
Butler history professor Dr. Charlene Fletcher helps run the school's Hub for Black Affairs and Community Engagement.
It was commonplace during the antebellum period, before the Civil War, during slavery, where enslaved Africans had very little. They got the scraps, and they made do with what they had. They made a way out of no way.
Often the least desirable parts of livestock and vegetation.
Our people had to figure out how to make them edible in a lot of cases. And through that process and through that creativity, all of a sudden some of these things become stars on everyone's table.
Those recipes with select spices and preparation techniques endured and evolved as soul food became a conduit for connection.
Soul food is what brings generations together. It's not just the formal meals, but it's the knowledge that's transmitted when we learn how to prepare soul food. Generations passing down those recipes, and not just the recipes, but the knowledge and the stories that come along with it.
Chef Jones cherishes that nostalgia associated with family gatherings, the lessons learned along the way, and the possibilities to add his twist on the future.
Might not be the exact recipe that I grew up with, but what we've created is something that reminds us of what it was that we had.
Soul food is central to family, it's central to fellowship, it's central to community.
And Dr. Fletcher points out that during the slave trade, a number of African food staples and spices were brought over on ships during the Middle Passage to keep slaves alive during the journey. Some of those crops, like okra, were then grown on plantations.